The dark side of romance, why we fall for the wrong people. What if everything you believe about love is a beautiful illusion? Why does something that feels so right, so magical, often lead to heartbreak and emptiness? And most importantly, is it possible that chasing romantic love is quietly pulling us further away from real happiness? Is love truly all we need? Welcome to Live Stoic, Live Strong, where we trade illusions for truth, where emotions are felt but not obeyed, where clarity is power and discipline is freedom. This is not just a channel, it's a mindset. It's a journey of conscious living. Let's begin. Shah. From the time we're young, the world whispers one message over and over. Romantic love is the ultimate pursuit, the shining treasure at the end of life's journey. It's portrayed as the most noble, fulfilling experience a human can have. Just look around. Countless songs, timeless poetry, best-selling books, blockbuster films, they all orbit one burning star, the romantic ideal. We grow up believing that one perfect relationship will complete us, that once we find our person, everything else, our fears, our wounds, our emptiness, will melt away. This dream of eternal love becomes not just a desire, but a deeply ingrained expectation. We long for a partner who brings magic into our ordinary days, who lifts us into a realm where suffering no longer touches us. But reality is rarely that kind. The truth is, in most cases, romantic love doesn't deliver the lifelong happiness we've been promised. It often begins with fireworks, intense joy, passion, and emotional highs that feel almost transcendent. But then, the spark dims. The enchantment fades, and what's left can be confusion, dissatisfaction, even pain. For many, the love that once seemed like salvation becomes the very thing that deepens their loneliness. Some thinkers and psychologists have gone further to say, falling in love isn't just disappointing, it can be destructive. Why? Because it stirs a whirlwind of uncontrollable emotions, soaring elation one moment, agonizing despair the next. This roller coaster doesn't just affect our hearts. It wreaks havoc on our minds, our decisions, even our physical health. Science backs this up. Falling in love has been linked to stress, obsessive thinking, and emotional instability. From a Buddhist point of view, romantic love is even seen as an obstacle to true happiness, a form of attachment that binds us to suffering. Strange, isn't it? Society tells us love is the key to joy, while wisdom traditions suggest it's often the very lock that keeps us trapped. Yet, despite all of this, we still chase it. We yearn for it. We crave that electric feeling of connection that makes the world glow with new light. When we're in love, it's as if reality itself transforms. Suddenly, the people we didn't like seem more tolerable. That job we once dreaded feels lighter. The sky looks bluer. The air feels sweeter. Even our deepest problems begin to feel less heavy, as if love has temporarily cast a spell over them. And that's what makes it so addictive. Hayayalo yahaktura, hitahativ, hitiv mai haktura, bayalo yalo yalo, hakturalo yahaktura. Bahaktura, there's truly nothing like the high of new love. It drowns out all other experiences. It makes our ordinary life feel enchanted, meaningful. We feel reborn, as if everything that came before was just a dull prelude to this vibrant now. No wonder human history has poured endless creativity into this experience. Poems, operas, novels, songs, TV dramas, all seeking to capture the glory of falling in love. The great British philosopher Bertrand Russell once wrote, "I believe myself that romantic love is the source of the most intense delights that life has to offer. To be ignorant of it is a great misfortune to any human being. But what if those intense delights come at a cost we don't fully understand? What if the very thing we've been taught to idolize is quietly steering us away from peace, clarity, and fulfillment? This video dares to question the unquestionable. And to begin, we'll explore the first hidden truth. Romantic love is not just powerful, it's powerfully addictive. Ready to look deeper? Previously, we explored how romantic love can be overwhelmingly addictive, flooding our brains with euphoria and rewriting our perception of life. But this powerful rush doesn't come from magic, it comes from chemistry. Science has an explanation for this intense high. When we fall in love, it's not just butterflies and poetry. It's a full-blown neurochemical storm inside our brain. Powerful substances like dopamine, often called the pleasure chemical, surge through our system. Oxytocin, the bonding hormone, is released as well, intensifying our sense of attachment and closeness. The result? A euphoric cocktail of desire, excitement, and emotional intoxication. And here's the twist. Some scientists say that falling in love isn't just like being on drugs. It is a form of addiction. Dr. Helen Fisher, a renowned biological anthropologist, offers a striking comparison. In her research, she equates romantic love with cocaine use. In one of her articles published in Nautilus, she boldly subtitles, "From ecstasy to withdrawal, the lover resembles an addict." It's not just a metaphor. Through brain scans, Dr. Fisher and her team discovered that the same regions of the brain that activate during drug use also light up when someone is madly in love. That's not just coincidence, it's biology. Love at a neurological level mimics the mechanisms of addiction. As the obsession grows, the behavior of someone in love begins to mirror that of a true addict. Fisher describes how lovers display classic signs of intensification, a compulsive need to spend more and more time with the object of their affection. Thoughts of the beloved become intrusive, dominating the mind the way cravings dominate an addict's every waking moment. And like any addiction, love comes with withdrawal. When separated from the one we love, we often feel anxious, lost, even physically ill. We crave their presence, their voice, their validation. And when we don't get it, we spiral. Despair, anger, emptiness. These become the symptoms of what is, quite literally, emotional withdrawal. To recover, we often have to go cold turkey. Just as an addict needs time and distance to break free from a substance, the heartbroken lover must endure a period of emotional detox, resisting contact, avoiding reminders, and slowly weakening their bond to the person they once believed they couldn't live without. But the power of romantic love doesn't end there. There's another layer to this phenomenon, one even more subtle, yet equally dangerous. 2. Being in love distorts reality. Falling in love doesn't just change how we feel, it also changes how we see, quite literally. When we're infatuated with someone, it's as if we're wearing rose-tinted glasses. Psychologists call this the love goggle syndrome, an altered state where our perception of the person becomes wildly idealized. Suddenly, their flaws disappear. The person may be arrogant, emotionally unavailable, even toxic. But in our eyes, they're mesmerizing. We convince ourselves that they're different, special, the one. We fall not for who they are, but for the version our emotions have painted. And this illusion is not without risk. These distorted lenses can blind us to red flags. We might fall for narcissists, manipulators, even abusers, individuals who do not have our best interests at heart. Yet, under the influence of love, we make excuses. We rationalize behavior we'd normally reject. Even the idea of soulmates comes into play. We begin to believe that fate has led us to this person, that we are cosmically linked. But logically speaking, what are the chances that out of billions of people, this one flawed human is truly our one and only match? And yet, when we're in love, it feels undeniably true. This sacred illusion pushes us further into irrationality. We take bold risks. We bend our boundaries. We sometimes lie, exaggerate, or hide our true selves, just to seem more desirable. We reshape our values, overlook incompatibilities, and sacrifice parts of who we are, all for the chance to be with the person we crave. It's no wonder love feels spiritual. It behaves like a force beyond reason. But beneath that mystical shimmer lies a deeply human vulnerability. And so, love doesn't just cloud our mind. It reshapes our identity, our choices, and sometimes our very sense of reality. As we continue, the next layer we'll explore may be even more unsettling. Could romantic love actually fuel our loneliness rather than ease it? Stay with me. We've seen how romantic love can distort our reality, how it clouds judgment, reshapes values, and blinds us to truth. But what happens when that illusion grows so powerful, it overrides even our deepest commitments? Falling in love doesn't always arrive at the right time. Sometimes, it strikes when we least expect it, or worse, when we're already married. The emotional pull can be so overwhelming, so all-consuming, that we're willing to risk everything: our family, our promises, our stability. The intoxication of a new connection can push people into dangerous territory: affairs, betrayal, and emotional chaos. Yet, from a more romantic lens, being in love makes us feel like nothing is impossible. What once seemed like firm deal breakers, money issues, cultural divides, conflicting beliefs, even whether or not to have children, suddenly become mere hurdles we feel we can leap over. Love whispers to us, "You'll figure it out. This is special. This is worth it." But here's the danger. We often underestimate these hurdles. In the haze of passion, we minimize incompatibilities, imagining we can fix or overcome anything. This can lead to deep disappointment and heartbreak when the high fades and reality sets in. Lovers, caught in this trance, often begin to reshape their lives around the one they desire. Daily routines shift. Priorities flip. Even personality traits start to change, what psychologists call affect disturbance. People abandon their own needs, bend their values, and sometimes act irrationally or even recklessly, just to maintain closeness or impress the beloved. As one researcher puts it, lovers also distort reality, change their priorities and daily habits, and often do inappropriate, dangerous, or extreme things to remain in contact with or impress this special other. And it doesn't stop there. In the most intense cases, people have been known to sacrifice everything for their partner, even their lives. The threat of losing their beloved can push even the most grounded individuals into desperation. Public outbursts, obsessive behavior, stalking, or worse, acts of violence. How does love have this power? Jasaminja, because it hijacks our biology. Abaluma, we become slaves to instinct, overwhelmed by forces we don't fully understand. Philosopher Arthur Schopenhauer put it starkly. Directly after copulation, the devil's laughter is heard. It's a haunting image. What he meant was this: in the sharp clarity that comes after sexual release, once the euphoria has vanished, we sometimes see reality for what it truly is. The illusion dissolves. The person who once seemed divine now looks painfully ordinary, and we're left asking ourselves, why did I lose my mind over this? It's a brutal awakening. In hindsight, we wonder how we ever became so obsessed with someone who, viewed without the lens of infatuation, feels incompatible, or even unattractive. It's as if our biology tricked us into temporary madness, and that madness doesn't just embarrass us. It hurts deeply. Thank you for staying with Live Stoic, Live Strong. It means you're seeking more than words. We're here for that journey with you. 3. Romantic love can be excruciatingly painful. Nature always seeks balance. The higher the high, the deeper the fall. And romantic love is no exception. The intensity of being in love, the euphoria, the obsession, the hope, comes with an equally powerful shadow: pain, despair, heartbreak. For every great love story, there are thousands of untold tragedies. Nahum, Bess, Amma. Just listen to the love songs we play on repeat. Read the poems written through tears. Watch the films where passion ends in ruin. Humanity has always woven pain into the fabric of romance. It's not just a side effect, it's part of the experience. Heartbreak isn't just emotional, it can be physically agonizing. People lose sleep, they cry for days, weeks, even months. Some fall into deep depression. Others lose the will to live entirely. There are stories, too many, of lovers who took their own lives or someone else's. Romantic love is built on a beautiful beginning, that moment when the world feels brand new. But as writer and historian Anita Bruckner once said, the essence of romantic love is that wonderful beginning, after which sadness and impossibility may become the rule. That sentence lingers, doesn't it? We go into love with bright eyes and open hearts, but too often, we leave it wounded, confused, and carrying scars no one can see. And yet, despite all this pain, all this chaos, we still chase it. Why? What deeper need is driving us towards something that hurts us so deeply? In the next part, we'll explore that question. Could it be that romantic love is not about happiness at all, but about survival? Romantic love brings soaring highs, yes, but also heartbreak so deep, they leave us questioning our own sanity. But why is the pain so inevitable? What lies at the very root of our suffering? Falling in love sets off a chain reaction we often can't escape from. No matter how beautiful it begins, it almost always leads us toward a place where pain becomes unavoidable, be it sorrow, jealousy, frustration, or even despair. And underneath all these emotions, there's one common thread, one ancient truth. According to Buddhism, the true source of suffering is not love itself, but attachment. When we become emotionally attached to someone, we unconsciously begin to tie our happiness to their presence, their behavior, their approval. We begin to believe that this person is the condition for our joy, that without them, we are incomplete. But this is a dangerous illusion. Because once our well-being depends on something, or someone, outside of ourselves, we become vulnerable to endless emotional turmoil. The very love that once lifted us now holds us hostage. Stoic philosopher Epictetus explained this beautifully. He wrote, "Following desire promises the attainment of that which you are desirous of, and aversion promises the avoiding of that to which you are averse. But he who fails to obtain the object of his desire is disappointed, and he who encounters the object of his aversion is wretched." In other words, when we cling to a desired outcome, we give our emotional power away. And in the realm of romantic love, this plays out dramatically. Think about it. When we're in love, that person becomes our entire world. We don't just want them. We need them. Their presence, their attention, even their love becomes the oxygen we breathe. So what happens when that person pulls away, changes, or disappears? We suffer. We suffer, not because of them, but because of our attachment to the idea that they were essential to our happiness. Buddhist monk Ajahn Sona puts it with striking clarity. He says that romantic relationships and attachment are inseparable. You can't have one without the other. He shares, "You've got a relationship going, then you change, or they change, or something happens. One of you wants to leave, and the other doesn't. Then there's inevitable suffering. If you stay, you suffer. If you leave, they suffer. Flip a coin. That's the dreadful nature of attachments." It's a heartbreaking paradox. When love is rooted in attachment, someone always gets hurt. Maybe both. And even the healthiest relationships are not immune. Because people change, life changes, desires shift, and no amount of love can shield us from the pain that follows emotional dependency. Vinadamir. So what do we do with this truth? That be Vinadamir. Do we swear off love forever? Do we retreat into solitude, avoiding romantic connection just to preserve peace of mind? Nenawanen. It's not an easy answer. The German philosopher Nietzsche framed this struggle as the eternal battle between Dionysus, the symbol of passion, instinct, chaos, and Apollo, representing reason, clarity, and order. Do we surrender to our wild, instinctual longing to connect, to merge, to love madly and deeply? Or do we resist those cravings and instead choose a path of detachment, serenity, and inner freedom? From a purely rational perspective, the answer seems clear. If your goal is lasting peace, clarity of mind, and emotional balance, then avoiding romantic love may be the wiser path. Without the dizzying highs, we avoid the crashing lows. We preserve our mental stillness, our sense of self. But life isn't built solely on logic. We are not machines. We are human, beautifully, tragically, gloriously human. And in us lives a primal instinct that refuses to be reasoned with, an instinct that longs for touch, for closeness, for love, even when it hurts. And maybe that's why, despite knowing all this, we still choose to fall. But what if our craving for love isn't about beauty or romance at all? What if it's about something far more ancient, something tied to our survival? In the next part, we'll look at love not through the lens of the heart, but through the lens of evolution. In our quest for peace, we may be tempted to walk away from love altogether. But there's a reason we keep returning to it, again and again. Why does love hold us so tightly, even when we know it hurts? Without the phenomenon of falling in love, human life would be unrecognizably different. Romantic love, for all its chaos and complexity, serves a powerful purpose, one that reaches far beyond fleeting emotions. It is the force that pulls two people together, igniting the spark of connection, of intimacy, of shared destiny. Without that spark, couples wouldn't bond, families wouldn't form, and the rich tapestry of human history might have unfolded very differently. Imagine a world without love stories. Without the burning passion that has inspired poets, painters, composers, and kings. No sonnets from Shakespeare. No operas of tragic devotion. No cinematic legends of lovers who defied the odds. How many of the world's greatest achievements, works of genius, conquests, revolutions, were born not from logic, but from longing? Romantic love gives life a kind of intensity that logic alone cannot provide. It colors our experience. It compels us to dream bigger, sacrifice more, and feel deeper. For some, it becomes a spiritual experience. For others, it's the one thing that makes life truly worth living. Mike Shav Ta'am, Badjaris. Yes, romantic love can be wild. Badjaf Ta'af Tam. Irazabi can be painful. Badjaf Tam. Irazabi can be painful. Yes, it can distort our view of the world and lead us down irrational paths. But can we really say it's just an inconvenient source of suffering? Perhaps there is something more, something essential and profound in the madness, a hidden wisdom in the chaos, a purpose that transcends the pain. Because if love were only destructive, we would have abandoned it long ago. And yet, humanity keeps falling, keeps searching, keeps hoping. British philosopher Bertrand Russell understood this paradox well. He once said, "To be ignorant of the value of romantic love is a great misfortune to any human being." Maybe that's why, even when we know the risks, we still long for it. Maybe love is not meant to be understood, but felt. So, is romantic love worth it? We've walked through its illusions, its addictive chemistry, the pain, the distortions, the heartbreak, and the sheer madness it can awaken in even the most rational minds. We've seen how it binds us, breaks us, inspires us, and leaves us wondering what's real and what's simply the projection of desire. But here's the truth. Romantic love is not just a feeling. It's a mirror. It reflects our fears, our longings, our insecurities, and our deepest hopes. It tests our boundaries. It forces us to confront who we are when we want something so badly. We're willing to lose ourselves for it. And perhaps that's the point. Maybe romantic love was never meant to give us peace. Maybe it exists to shake us, to stir us, to awaken something raw and real and unbearably human within us. It's messy, it's wild, it's painful, but it's also a reminder that we are alive. So if you choose to fall in love, fall consciously, fall with your eyes open. Don't worship it blindly, but don't run from it either. Understand what it is and what it's not. Don't let it define your worth or hijack your soul. Because the real love story isn't just about finding another person. It's about learning to hold on to yourself, even as you're being swept away. And remember, love is powerful, but clarity is freedom. Thank you for your time. If one idea touched you today, come back next time. If one idea touched you today, come back next time. It may reach deeper. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this with someone who needs a quiet moment. See you in the next video.